A lot has happened since the Server Slam ended this past weekend. There were tons of mixed reviews. Most players loved ArcRaiders, some were undecided, and a few were in between. But the overall takeaway is that ArcRaiders is killing it, and the full release is going to be insane. We also got a ton of feedback from players, and the devs have responded. We'll get into those details in a minute, but man, I did not expect this. And maybe a few of you can relate, because this new Arc enemy, the Bombardier Arc that they teased in the latest trailers, completely caught me off guard. I didn't think it would even show up in the Server Slam, honestly. Not only were we able to go toe-to-toe with it, but there's a lot more going on under the hood. The Bombardiers are actually connected to the Snitch arcs in a really clever way, which explains why the Snitches were recently nerfed and toned down a bit. I was in a night raid when I spotted a Bombardier in the distance. For some crazy reason, I decided to aggro it just to see how its mortar fired. Bad idea.
That's the new arc they was talking about, the Bombardier, bro. You want to see how it fires? Let's just aggro real quick and then let's go. Let's go. Oh no! I didn't know that. Oh my god, bro! I'm out, bro.
The Snitches were on me in seconds, so I panicked, jumped off a cliff. I don't know how high it was, but luckily there was a dam nearby that I could slide down. But the Snitches were right behind me. They were relentless and followed me all the way down. This is one of the reasons why they were so overpowered. Not only do they alert other enemies to your presence, but their laser targeting system that is used to alert other arcs actually serves as a location marker for the Bombardier arc. So wherever they target their lasers is where the Bombardier will fire their mortar. And the range feels limitless because the Bombardier arc was all the way up from where I jumped down, and the mortar still landed right next to me. That blew my mind. I was wondering how the Snitches could even see me through the trees, and this is why the devs responded. Fortunately, the devs at Embark released an update on their website titled The Key Takeaways. Your feedback coupled with our data gave us crucial insight, and we took immediate action on several fronts, outlining 4 changes, one of which directly addresses this issue because this further emphasized why they needed to be toned down, since their targeting system is not only tied to simply alerting other arcs to your position, but other things. Here's what they said. The flying arcs. It turns out their awareness was a bit too high, allowing them to essentially see through trees and bushes. This made their vision unintentionally overpowered, but we've adjusted what they can see now, so expect a fairer fight at launch. Like I said, I was wondering why they could see me through the trees. This wasn't the only situation either, because in another raid, me and my squad were pinned down between arc drones and other raiders, holding our own, reviving each other for a while between the trees and the bushes, but the drones were just shocking and shooting us through them, drawing more and more raiders' attention to that area, and I thought we were concealed. Anyways, I'm glad they caught this. It would have been pretty bad if it kept up during launch, but many players' complaints didn't come from the drones alone. In fact, they didn't really bother me personally that much. Players were actually referring to the overall difficulty of the arcs, that they needed to be toned down in general. They were too hard, people said. I had friends that I was playing with personally tell me this, but here's the thing, alright? The arcs are difficult by nature. That's actually what drives the appeal so much to me. But I wouldn't worry, because this was a server slam that content gated everyone from experiencing full game. A game that comes with the capability to find the right weapons needed to damage arc in a way that makes you feel powerful. We weren't even able to experience that. And yes, I agree. In the tech test 4 months ago, we felt way more powerful, and it was because we had access to the full game pretty much. But at the moment, we only have a week left until the full game is released. Then we'll be able to experience that boss mode status with all the weapons and such. So all of your pleas to nerf the arcs maybe should be reined in a little bit until we put some real hours into the full game. But let me address what else the devs responded to and the key takeaways, then we can wrap this video up. Stability. You helped us quickly identify and resolve stability issues across all platforms during the test. We've locked in even more solutions leading up to launch day to ensure a smooth launch experience. Well, this one I can't really speak for anyone else about. I played on PC, and I can say that for the most part, I had a smooth experience despite the insane amount of player numbers reached. In an article by PC Gamer, the numbers were revealed. ArcRaiders playtest slams past 185,000 concurrent players on Steam alone. A hotfix was rolled out after the server slam began, but otherwise it seems to be smooth sailing. That number, courtesy of SteamDB, is good enough to put ArcRaiders in the number 4 spot on Steam's most played list, ahead of PUBG, Rust, and Bongo Cat. I don't know what that is. It's even more expressive when you consider that the server slam is also available on the Epic Games Store, as well as the PlayStation 5 and Xbox Series XS consoles, meaning the actual number of people playing is higher, likely much higher. Despite the inviolable crush of players, the test seems to be going very well. EmbarkStudios pushed a hotfix, like I said, which unfortunately required a full download of the game, but said that should not be the norm moving forward. So yeah, this is really crazy in a good way. And I did play with a buddy of mine who was playing on PlayStation and another who was on Xbox. Everything seems to be going perfectly for Embark ahead of release. The next takeaway they discussed was the dam tower. We watched many of you bravely and perhaps a little too easily access the dam control tower on Dam Battlegrounds. It was fun to watch, but a bit too accessible for a key location. That's been fixed to keep the challenge sharp. Now, I know so many of you were exploiting this, and that's always something that's bound to happen in games like these. I'm sure the devs will be keeping their eye on this in other maps as well, but this is good. We don't want the rarity of loot to be watered down and the economy less effective. Rare loot should stay rare, and we need to fight for it. And finally, they addressed another adjustment some players might think is minor, and it was a visual difference. Some noticed a visual difference between Server Slam and earlier tests on certain hardware, and they admitted the default settings did change a bit to favor more performance, and we are looking into tuning further to strike the right balance. This is honestly more important than you think. There's always been this stigma within the correlation between graphics and gameplay. I've always been an advocate of gameplay over graphics. I just think the experience matters more. Sacrificing a little bit of flash for performance always wins in my book. But that's really all I have to say in this video. As always, I appreciate you for being here. If you haven't already, hit the like button if you like this conversation. It really helps with the algorithm to push this video's reach to more people. Also, subscribe to my channel if you're new here. And finally, don't forget to join my Discord link in the description below. I'm building a strong community here, and I'd love for you to be a part of it. Let me know what you think about this video in the comment section below. I'll see you in the next one, fam. Be right out.